Bitcoin plunges, deleting all the gains that were seen the day before. And this is very, very scary because we've seen HBar, XLM, and a number of other coins being crushed towards the downside as well. What we do right now is extremely important. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on in this video. So you hit that like button. Let's get into it. Now, guys, something very important to look at as we look across to the Bitcoin chart. And we can see right now, and I'm sorry for my current camera setup. I am in the hotel room trying to shrink down so I actually fit into the camera frame. It's a nightmare. But what we can see right now on the Bitcoin chart is we had this pump and then we had this dump. And I've told you before, if you were subscribed to this channel, which you absolutely should be, and as we look across to HBar, we can see that things are looking even more drastic and scary. And if we look into XLM, yesterday took a bit of a punishing move, but then starting to steady out. Now, I've told people before that the news comes at times that is just basically someone trying to manipulate what's going on. I told you that when it comes to Bitcoin, it takes 400 Bitcoin to move the price 1%, which, forgive me for saying this, is not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things for crypto. It's a lot of money for me. It's a lot of money for you, I would assume, at home. But the people who manipulate these charts are not really that fazed by that kind of money. They can move the charts whatever they want. They can create this narrative that's going on. It's just there to manipulate you. So what I want to point out, and something I want to warn you against, when we see this dump towards the downside, you see all these people like the bears, Gareth Soloway being one, saying that now, this is a plunge, it's destined to go lower and lower. You'll then jump across and find one of the bulls, this is Elm Crypto Prof, and he's saying that, every time over the last few bull markets, we've been here, and this is how I've managed to call the bottom pretty much every single time. Who's right? The problem is no one knows, and the problem is everyone's telling you this as if I know for certain. And this is a very, very scary thing. I might be quite confident about where we are right now, but I don't know for sure. If you held a gun to my head, I don't really want to give you the answer. And neither do these people, but it's helpful when they make a call like it's going to go down and it goes down for them to turn around and be like, I told you this was going to happen. Look at me, I'm a genius. The charts do give us a good indication of what we might be looking at. But bearing in mind we are in an uptrend, every trader right now will be telling you that we are technically in an uptrend and we should be going with the trend. So we ultimately should still be remaining bullish, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. I might be wrong. And what I want to draw your attention to and make you very cautious of is anything telling you for certain that we are in any particular part of the market. In my free Telegram group, just linked down below, there's a lot of people in there who are, saying, for sure, Benjamin Cowan's told me this, or Gareth Soloway's told me this, and for sure we're going to go lower. There's always a chance that we go lower, but there's no guarantee. And that for sure mentality is a very dangerous thing because those people don't know for sure, and they're making you think that for sure you've got plenty of time to be waiting around. Now, for me, I'm accumulating. And I told you before that I would be accumulating. And as I look across this XLM chart, we are in an area, for me, that looks like a good area to accumulate. Why does this look like a good area? Well, look what happened last time we got into this area. XLM bounced around 16%. Now, I'm not certain, that we don't carry on just sort of being stuck in this zone, and we could just roll further down and further down. But all we've got to do, if we're unsure of what's going on right now, and those people who are like panic selling into this, there's one thing I would not be doing right now, and it's panic selling. The reason I'm not panic selling, guys, is because look at where we are here compared to where we've been here and where we could potentially go, which would be probably in line with those lows before. Now, let's say something horrendous happened. I'm talking like COVID level horrendous. That could potentially see a meltdown in the XLM price. Here, down 80%. Now, that's saying that XLM has the ability to put in a low that it hasn't seen since March the 9th, 2020, which was COVID, or when COVID starts to spread wide around the world. It was already going on by that point, Now, what we can say then is that the upside from here to that all-time high is a 5x. So, basically, all you need to be betting on right now, in my opinion, of course, is something not going to zero. Because if it doesn't go to zero, it's more than likely going to hit its all-time high again. So you will say that for XLM, if XLM does risk a downside move of 80%, as long as it doesn't go to zero and you're still in the game, you're still looking at a 5-6x. So I'm putting in $100. I'm trying to risk $80 to make $500, $600. That for me is a good return on investment. That's a good risk to reward ratio. Everything has the potential to go to zero. Bitcoin, Tesla, whatever you talk about has the potential to go to zero, given some scenario somewhere or something happening, okay? That we don't know because everything is outside of our control. That's what's most important to know. And the way we act right now can't be in line with the news that's happening. Think of every time you get a piece of negative news like that as a positive thing for you because it's pulling perhaps the price down into a position that's maybe better for you to buy it at. And that's a very good thing. Remember, it's all manipulation. It doesn't really hold any bearing on the performance or anything of that project. So we can then say, looking into another one, let's have a look at HBar. And look, guys, HBar having a nice little pullback. Now, if we look at the chart pattern here does indicate, and it did indicate the other day, and I did say on the video that I made about HBar, that there was a good chance that we would see a roll further down. And you can see that we have broken from this ascending wedge here. And this is basically, we did have a break towards a breach of the rising wedge towards the upside, which was on a good piece of news. And I said it was pretty overbought here. And I did expect it to roll. I said if it couldn't bounce here, then it would go further down. And look at where it is right now. Now, HBar, as far as I'm concerned, could be a potentially good opportunity to be buying. And I know that there was people buying in this area last week. And now they're 32% down. So what does this tell us? It tells us that the news, no matter how big towards the upside, no matter how good the news is and seems to be, eventually the price will just come back down. Now, on the flip side of things, when we get negative news on Bitcoin or whatever it is, the price will inevitably work its way back up to a value at which the mass of people think it's worth. I talked about this in a video the other day about the group think. Effectively, the chart represents the group think. It represents your thoughts and my thoughts and everyone else's thoughts on what a particular asset is worth. And the news does throw people in one direction and throw people in another direction. But, you know, like that old metaphor of throwing a stone into a pond, eventually the waves will return to normal. Same in the charts. All we know right now is the price is undervalued compared to where it's going to be in the future. If you don't believe that, then that crypto is not for you. If you don't believe that about crypto in general, then you should probably find another hobby or find something else to invest in. Because if you don't believe that crypto is going to be worth more than it is now in the future, then you probably shouldn't be in the game. The idea is that Bitcoin is going to be worth at least what it was in the past and potentially more. That's not financial advice. Do your own research. It could obviously be worth less. But I have a theory that Bitcoin is going to be worth more than $70,000 in the future. I don't know if it's going to be worth more than like $200,000 or $300,000. That's much more speculative. But if we know right now that the prices of things we want to buy into are going to be higher in the future, then that's what we should be investing in for right now. Now, if you're a trader, I understand, then you can be a bit more like short term. Most people don't really understand the charts, although I do recommend that you get in and start understanding at least a little bit of technical analysis, like buy zones, sell zones, lines of resistance, areas of resistance and areas of support, and maybe a few basic trading patterns. There's a load of videos on Forex trading that will tell you that. Don't go to crypto guys. Most of these crypto trader gurus are just like rehashing all their information from like these age-old Forex traders who've been trading these charts for like 30 years, okay? Go and find those Forex traders. They'll give you far better information than a lot of the crypto guys will, okay? Including myself, although I'm rehashing that information as well. So HBar, potentially right now, sat in an area of an interest, okay? Is it gonna go from where it is right now? Well, you can say that there is a speculative play here, that it is arriving into a buy zone. But you can see as it arrives into this buy zone, it's not showing much signs of any like resistance here, any support flying in to push it up higher, okay? Which would indicate to me that it's probably gonna come down to this next one. And then we just watch what happens when it gets into the next one. Remember, we can set an alert here. And then if it arrives into this next area, then we've got an area of interest to pay attention to. And, you know, if I have a bit of money right now for HBar, then maybe I can buy a little here, and if it gets down to here, I can buy a little more, and then if it gets down here, I can buy a little more. As the price is moving lower, you should be starting to buy more. Simple. Buy the lows, sell the highs. That's all that's really this game is about. And there will be people who will tell you that the bull market's not started yet, and that the bear market's coming. The truth is, they don't know, we don't know, but the only thing you know is you have the opportunity to have exposure to this, or to completely run the risk of missing out completely. Because I guarantee that one day you're going to wake up, and if those people who've been telling you, oh, don't buy now, those people will be left when they wake up one morning and then the price has done this. And it has the power to do that. We've seen it happen time and time again on many different charts, okay? And it's going to happen at some point. You just have to make sure that you have skin in the game when that happens. And if it continues to trickle down, then you have the ability to hold that loss and take that loss, or take that potential loss, and just keep loading up. Remember, the more you load up, and I'm not saying to do that into HBar. If you've researched HBar and you think HBar is a good play, well, then you can do that. But look at XLM, XRP, whatever your coin of choice is, do your research into the team, the tokenomics, and all that good stuff. And guys, make sure you subscribe as well, because I'll give you some more tutorials and stuff. This is the time we can really up our game. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to Grape, who sponsored this video. Now, I've told you in the past that you can go pick up Grape, which is currently in pre-sale, and you can pick it up at $46 per token. Through the link down below in the description, you'll get an additional 10%. And that's exciting because it's already launched on Bitmark Exchange. It's currently worth a lot more than $46 each. It's going to be launching into September, and it's a very exciting project because the first Web3 infrastructure for a decentralized internet. Now, what on earth does this mean? Well, instead of being a blockchain, it works through a DAG, or a direct acyclic graph, similar to HBar and Casper. And this allows it to process over 700,000 transactions per second, which is extraordinarily fast when it comes to an ecosystem like this. It bridges the gap between Web 2 and Web 3, and it has built-in AI to allow non-technical people to build on top of the platform. That's very exciting because it builds on the overall functionality of this particular ecosystem. Now, there's a lot of information to find out about this, guys. I recommend, if you're interested in finding a new and interesting project, that you come across and check it out. Do not invest any money that you can't afford to lose. Obviously, trading crypto is risky. Buying into new projects is also very risky. So make sure you find out all the information that is here that you want to know more about, but it's definitely worth having a look at. You can get 10% additional tokens through that link down below, guys. Hope you enjoyed that video. I will see you very soon in the next video. Bye-bye.